Hey everybody, welcome to the kitchen. Today we are making the best banana chocolate chip muffins you are ever gonna taste in your entire life. I have a special secret ingredient that makes them so moist you won't even believe it. So come along and let's do some baking together. My name is Jen. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you a recipe that's actually a triple batch. This is because I have a huge family. I have 6 children and we have a whole lot of school lunch baking happening in our house. You can easily do this recipe just in the normal batch, and I will write the regular non-tripled recipe out for you somewhere in this video. But for me, since I'm really focused on less is more, I like to bake in large quantities so that I'm spending less time in the kitchen. Besides home baking being super economical, I also feel like it's pretty darn healthy compared to the alternative, which is store-bought stuff that have a lot of preservatives in it and chemicals that I don't really want my kids eating. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. It's certainly easy enough for anybody to try at home. Here we go. Okay, so the most important part in any good banana muffin recipe or banana bread is your bananas. Now, this is looking a little gross, I'm aware. I can just go a little closer to the camera. I've got a bunch of brown bananas in here. To make the best ever banana muffins, you have to have overripe bananas. As you can see, mine, I don't know if you can see the frost on here, these are actually bananas I've had in the freezer. So when my kids have breakfast in the morning, I often have a bowl of kind of chopped up banana segments, and any that they don't eat, I just pop in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and as I collect more and more bananas in the freezer, I have enough for a big batch of banana muffins. So what I'm going to do is actually slip the bananas out of the skins into my mixing bowl to start, and here I have 9 bananas. Okay, there you have it, 9 bananas worth from the freezer. Simply gonna take my fork and mash them up a bit. The reason you want overripe bananas is because the ripening process really lets out the sugars and the sweetness in the bananas. That's why it's important. And just think of how much you are saving here by just keeping the bananas that don't get eaten from meal times, or keeping the bananas that are overripe in your basket at the end of the week instead of throwing them out. And the peelings that were on my bananas, of course, I'm going to put in the compost, not the garbage, and they're going to help add nutrients to my garden in the spring. So I've mashed my bananas up a bit. To that, I'm going to add 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to take my hand mixer and give that a mix. And done, that is mixed. Next is my secret ingredient. I told you there was going to be a special ingredient here that adds a lot of extra moisture, and that is mayonnaise. So here I've got a 1.5 cups of mayonnaise that I'm going to put in. Now some of you might be laughing as you're watching this if you've watched my other cooking or baking videos, because I have so many other recipes that feature mayonnaise. Don't worry guys, I know some of you think that mayonnaise isn't necessarily the most healthy, but if we think of what the alternative would be in this recipe, would be butter or milk. They're not necessarily any healthier than mayo. Mayo is basically just oil, egg, vinegar, all mixed up together. So it gives just a real kick to these muffins that is out of this world. So don't be afraid to give this recipe a try. Let's give it a mix. Okay, our wet ingredients are mixed. I'm gonna set those aside and we are gonna start on our dry ingredients. First, I have 4.5 cups of white all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 3 cups of sugar, 2 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I'm gonna give that a little mix with the same fork that I mashed my bananas with because I like to reuse like that, less dishes in the end. We'll give that a little mix. Okay, I kind of mixed my dry ingredients together. I'm going to add them to the wet ingredients. And if you haven't already heard this, the secret to a good muffin recipe is not to over stir. So I'm not going to actually beat the muffins at this point with my beaters, the batter. I'm going to just use my spatula and fold in the dry ingredients. This makes your muffins crumbly, yummy, beautiful, and not too kind of elasticy or spongy, if you know what I mean by that. That happens when you over mix. So just mix with your spatula. And you can see it's not totally mixed yet, but at this point I'm going to add my chocolate chips. So I have here 3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Toss those in there. Okay, we're pretty well mixed. Now we're ready to fill our muffin cups, and I wanted to show you guys something special about how we do things at our house where that's concerned. So here we go. Okay, when I make muffins at our house, I use actually silicone baking cups for them. I really like these because you're not wasting paper on every muffin. You bake it in this and then you just pop the muffin out and into your container into the freezer. Another way you can be not wasteful is to use a baking stone for your muffins. So this is my Pampered Chef baking stone I've had for about 10 years. And you can see it is well seasoned, and you can just put your muffins directly in there and use a little knife to get them out, pop them out, and you're good to go. And then you haven't used extra paper, which is just a little more environmentally friendly, but also a money saver. These silicone cups, I estimate I use these about twice a month when I'm making muffins. I've had them for 10 years. So if you just think about this little silicone cup has been used 24 times a year times 10 years, 240 times, 240 muffins I've gotten out of this one silicone cup. That's 240 paper wrappers that I have not used. And every time I use them, I use about 30 of these. So 240 times 30, oh, let's see if I can do my math properly. I think that's 7,200 paper cups I have not used. The other thing I really like is a muffin scoop. This is also from Pampered Chef, but I'm sure other companies make it. And I don't know if you can see the mechanism in there that turns. So you fill it up, you squeeze the handle, and out plops the dough. So I'll show you how it works. There we go, muffin cup filled. I'm going to start filling. While I do that, I just wanted to mention, while I'm on the topic of saving and spending less, if this is your first time at the channel, I just want to say welcome, and I hope you're enjoying this video. But I did want to let you know that I have a lot of other videos just about home and lifestyle things, little changes we can make to have less in our lives in order to really have a net gain, whether that's taking control of our finances, just having a more peaceful life because we're not as cluttered and we don't have as much stuff, or also just because it allows us to spend more time with our little people, the least of those in society. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy being part of this community, we would just love for you to come along for the ride. You want to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss more videos. There's a red subscribe button below. And also, give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. We welcome any comments. Maybe you guys have a banana muffin recipe that you really love, and I'd love to know it too, because I love trying out new recipes. Pop that below. If you're gonna try this recipe out and you've made them and you like them, comment on that as well. I've got my muffin cups filled back here, so it's time to pop them in the oven. I'm putting the oven on 375 degrees for a total of about 20 to 25 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. And there you have it, they're out of the oven. They smell so good, you guys. Best muffins ever! There we go, crispy golden on the outside, moist and ooey gooey on the inside. These are all ready for me to pop into containers for the kids to have for school lunches for the next week or two. If you liked this recipe, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up and share it around. And of course, please subscribe to the channel so you can join in on our community creating more with less. Bye guys. For the least, this is Jen.